Welcome to another weekly market update. Today is January 27, 2019. In this video, we're going to take a look at the market, the indexes, and the respective ETF. But before I start, I just want to make an announcement that if you are not a YouTube subscriber of my channel, or you're a first-time watcher, or even you have been a long-time follower, I just want to let you all know that I'm planning to do a series of what I call lesson learn or trading lesson. Right. So in that series of video, what I basically are going to cover is some of the things that I have learned throughout my years of trading and some of my trading nemesis. And so it's also maybe throw in a few, some of the pro tip, some of the tool that I use, or certain how I modify certain tool to make it a little bit convenient for me to do major move and all those other stuff. Okay, and in addition, and I also maybe plan on doing some video on more of a how-to, like you might have seen some of the midday video, the live video that I've been doing. And for those that is not aware, that I have been doing a live midday video for the last couple weeks. I usually do them between 10:20 and 10:30 Pacific time, which translates to somewhere around 1:20, 1:30 Eastern time. In that video, I basically just go to the market internal of the day, and also recap what has transpired in the morning session, and put up some scenario what to look for the afternoon session to the close. So if you see some of those screenshot, some of the screen setting that I have, I'm plan to do some of those some of the video to show how I set up those screen panel for those market internal and things that I watch, and also some of the capability within TOS, or the limitation within Thinkorswim, for set up market profile or volume profile to get some sort of chart of these profile to look at, not just on future, but also on stock and that kind of stuff. So those are some of this idea that I have for some future video. And if you have any suggestion or recommendation, please feel free to post them below in the comment section below. So those are the some of the heads up stuff that I'm thinking about doing. Let me know what you think. Okay, so with that said, let's go and start take a look at the Dow Jones Transportation. First, I got the weekly chart here. As you can see that since the end of December, the transportation been doing one-time framing up on a weekly basis, even though last week it closed down a bit, but it's a inside candle, weekly candle, and it put a little bit of a hangman there. We call it a hangman, people call it a hammer. The reason I call this a hangman, because it's on the top of the move rather than on the bottom of the move. If this candle was down here at the bottom, then I would call that as a hammer. Okay. So in regardless what we call it, these are all semantic anyway. So but the thing is, we see that after the Martin Luther King holiday came back, the market kind of made a little bit of a down move. If we take a look at the daily, okay, the daily chart here, so the market made a couple days of a down move and then came back toward a strong close toward the end of the week. So on the transportation, it moved to this Fibonacci retracement zone, which is the 38.2 and 61.8. Okay, came back above this retracement zone and head toward the 10,036.54. Okay, I'm still looking for this to come up and break this resistance, 10,036.54, and toward the 10,176.62, and then maybe we see a little bit of a chop here, and see would it be able to break out and move toward the 10,977, or come back in and recheck this, the level near the 38.2, near 96.54.91. As for the transportation and looking at the Dow Jones Industrial on a weekly chart here, you can see the Dow Jones Industrial is try to reclaim this trend line here. It's basically been back testing that for the last couple of weeks, and also been one time framing up. So we're going to keep an eye on this 24,965.77 level. That's basically the next potential resistance. See, could it get above that? If it get above that, then I'll be looking at the 25,754.29, and then maybe get a chop between this 25,754 and 24,965. And we take a look at the daily chart here. You can see that the daily chart, it was a little bit of a shooting star type of candle, right? Last Friday. Okay, got a little bit of a shooting star, and wouldn't be surprised to see this gap get filled, in the in next week or so, before it make a push above this 24,965.77 and into this 25,754. Now, if it get up on this trend line, get rejected, then basically be looking at the possibility of coming back down, and we test this 24,014.78. And if we switch over and look at the diamond, the ETF for the Dow Jones Industrial, as you can see from my last week note here, I was basically saying that it came back into this value area here, right? This blue area is the value area of the aqua, okay, from the volume profile, okay. And I was basically saying that it moved back into this value area and working toward the composite VPOX, the point of control here, somewhere around 253.55. And if it get rejected there, then probably looking about it move back down to this value low area. So as you can see right now, it's basically been moving toward that this point of control. And right now the next potential resistance is somewhere around 249.86, right? Okay, so we'll just kind of keep an eye on that, this 249.86, for the next potential resistance. If we could break through this, then we'll probably look for the VPOX. Okay, so if I also update the composite volume profile here just by moving this over to cover last week's prices, okay, and you can see that didn't change too much on the point of control. Okay, so basically still looking at pretty much the same thing there. And so let's go and continue with the index, looking at the S&P 500 on the weekly chart here. It too printed a inside doji hammer, you could say, or doji hangman. Okay, and it's sitting right below this 2676 0.81 potential resistance. Basically looking for this thing to move up and break through and get into this 2710.51, and then maybe we get a little bit of a chop there. Okay, again it moved to this retracement zone, and back into these potential resistance area here. And if we take a look at on the daily chart of the S&P 500, so you can see that got a little bit of a shooting star, right? And so right now we're basically looking at this 2676.81 as the potential resistance. If we can move to here, then we're basically looking for 2710.51, for this little bit of a chop and then come up, right? So essentially that's basically what I'm looking at, or kind of keep an eye out for. And if we go and take a look at the SPY, okay, the ETF for the S&P 500, you can see back on last week's note, again it's pretty much similar to the diamond. Essentially move back into this value area, right? And we're looking for this thing to move toward the composite point of control Okay, volume point of control here near this 274 area here, right? So right now it's basically is still trying to make it to this 267.75 resistance, and then the 270.36. So I'm looking for this thing to come up, maybe chop around here and then move toward the point of control. If we get about the point of control, then I'd be looking for a move to get up to this 279.15, basically try to get into the test the value area high, the composite value area high. Now if I also shift this, update the composite volume profile, you can see that let me okay, so you can see that the point of control have shifted down, right? It has shifted down from 274 down to this 266 right now. Okay, so we got to keep an eye on that. If this thing gets stalled up here, then it come back down, then we most likely you're going to see this to come back and retest this value area low near 255.92. And if it can't hold, let's say it break through that, then here's this 251.40 will be in play. And if you look at the ES, there's a little bit of a balance area here. Okay, that from my midday video, you can see that there is a balance zone down here for the E-mini S&P 500 future, right? So so that's the SPY. And if we go back and take a look at the NASDAQ 100 index, this is the weekly chart here. Again, it printed a inside hangman type of candle, and it's an inside bar. So it is above this this support here, 66.31, and I'm basically looking for this thing to work toward this 69.50.23. And we go take a look at the daily chart here. Okay. To get a look at the daily, you can see that the daily also got a little bit of a gap from last Friday. So pay attention to that gap to see what it get filled next week. Before it maybe come up and push to here at the 69.50.23. Now, if it break this support here, this 66.31, then essentially I'm looking for this thing to possibly come back down to this 63.94.74 for potential retest. Okay? And if we go and take a look at the QQQ, the ETF for the NASDAQ 100, as you can see, again, it's basically it moved back to this value area here, right? And working toward this point of control, toward this point of control near this 167.54. Okay, so right now, essentially, I'm looking for this thing to come up and possibly test this 169.17, right? This level here, right? So essentially come up, move to this point of control and try to work itself up to this 174.27 near this this value area high at 174.91, or round it off to 175. Okay, so and if I shift this over to cover the last week's price action, and you can see that it also shifted down the point of control, just like the spider. It came down to this 162 area, 163, but the price is above this point of control. So if it come down and it still get a bounce back up, then I would be looking at this 169.17 get tested, right? And then it pushes to this 174, and maybe possibly into this 175 area. Okay, so because we do have this range here, right, highlighted on this blue area, this range that it basically been bouncing around before it broke down in December, and then now it's trying to get back into this range. And for any type of a range, if you look at the balance area, then it just basically just go from one extreme to the other. So right now I'm basically looking for this price to move up to the top of this range and possibly get into the value area high, right? Okay, so let's take a look at the Russell 2000, starting off with the index, the weekly chart here. Again, it has a inside bar, inside hammer, right, a hangman, and it is above the 38.2. So what I'm looking at is to see what people continue to move up into this one, this 1531, right? This area here, this 1531. It is holding support above the 38.2 and above this 1448.30. And if we take a look at the daily chart, and here's the daily chart here, you can see that it is making a little bit of a move up toward the 1531. All right, so that's basically what I'm looking at. And if we go and take a look at the IWM, the ETF for the Russell 2000, you can see again, it is inside of this value area, right? And it is getting near the point of control, the volume composite volume point of control, and then it also is inside of this range here, right? Okay, so basically I'm looking to see would it be able to push through into this point of control. If you get above this point of control, then I'm basically looking for this 158.17 to get tested. That's basically the potential resistance. And if that could get through, punch through, then eventually we're looking at the value area high. Okay, so right now the key level essentially that I'm watching is first is this 151.71. Would it be able to get up to here on this potential resistance? Then the next critical level would be the volume point of control, this composite volume point of control at 153 area here. So let me go and update the volume profile and see, did we get a shift on the point of control here on the IWM, which we did not see a shift here, such as we saw on the spider and on the QQQ. So basically, we're basically looking for this thing to see could it bounce off of the lower boundary of this range, since it after it pulled back in December and then bouncing back into the range here, working itself back into this balance zone, and see what to get up to the top of this balance zone, and possibly see would it be able to break out and find a new area of balance. Okay, so that's basically the market update for this week. And again, like I said, let me know what you think. What are your thoughts on the market? You don't necessarily have to agree with what my perspective are, and I like to hear your thought as well. So feel free to put your thought in the comment section below. And also again, like I've indicated earlier in the video, at the beginning of the video, that some of the things I plan to do in the near future is the trading lesson with some pro tip and some how-to video to set up a trading platform, or how to use some of the tool to do measure move and projection and that sort of thing. So let me know what you think, and if you have any suggestion or input, a comment, recommendation, I'm always open to new ideas and suggestion. So thank you for watching, and if you're not a subscriber on my video channel, click on the subscribe button and subscribe, and be sure to click on that bell icon so you get notification whenever I do a video or upload a video, and you'll be notified that there's a new video on my channel for you to watch. And it's very important that you subscribe if you like what you see, and be sure to also click the thumbs up to let me know that you like what you see here. It also kind of let me know, am I putting up the video that you guys want to watch, or is people find it informative? If it's not, hey, no need to waste your time or my time, right? Because it does take some time and your dedication to watch my video, and that means also your time as well. So let me know about, like I said, I want to build up this this channel this year to get at least 1,000 subscribers, and any help and suggestion or comment that you could provide to help me accomplish that goal, that would be greatly appreciated. So thank you for watching, and good luck on your trading for the coming week.